there.
My question is, was the first building the one that's still up? The second one was where the big plane went into the
That's right.
collapse, right?
Yep. And they're saying a possible third plane.
Is that?
I don't.
I also want to give you heads up, Washington.
Go ahead.
United 9-3. Have you got information on that yet?
Yeah, he's down.
He's down?
Yes.
When did he land? Because we have confirmation.
He did not land.
Oh, he's down?
Yeah,
Down?
somewhere up northeast of Camp David.
Northeast of Camp David.
That's the last report. They don't know exactly where.
You can see now the thick pall of smoke that's enveloping the scene. One of the other problems there, of course, is that these fumes will be extremely toxic. That'll mean that only people with proper breathing apparatus will be able to get anywhere near the rescue work. I think that's probably going to be restricting work as well.
Run it back here. There's nothing you can do now.
Let's go to Frank Herzog, who is near one of the most visible monuments in the city, the Washington Monument. Frank, what do you see? What do you hear?
I'm on the west grounds of the Washington Monument. The area has been completely evacuated by Park Police, and I think I could answer Dave Statter's question about that secondary explosion.
Yes.
It wasn't an explosion. That was the sonic boom of jet fighters that were scrambled out of Andrews Air Force Base, we believe. They just circled the Washington area, flying from the east out to the west, and they were in a hurry, and they were high up in the air.
Maria Bartiromo, what can you tell us?
Thanks, Mark. You know, now I'm standing on the floor of the exchange, but I just came back from outside, and I am covered with soot. Basically, I was outside when that third explosion occurred, and everyone ran for their lives, basically. I went under a building. There was a little stairwell that I could go under with about 20 people, and we just stayed there. The whole area turned pitch black when that third explosion happened. At this point, people are in the New York Stock Exchange. People feel that this is the safest place to be right now, because when everyone was outside, there was there were 3 explosions. So now the exchange is keeping everyone inside. I'm on the floor with about, 100, 200 people right here, and we're just waiting. That's all I can tell you. It's pitch black outside. There's soot falling from the sky. I don't know if you could see my jacket and my shoes, but I'm completely covered in white smoke from the explosion, from that third explosion.
Maria, do you know what that explosion was?
That was about I'd say 15 minutes ago.
But do you know what caused it?
No, I don't.
So jet fighters, at least 1, possibly 2, were scrambled, probably as a precautionary measure. Needless to say, downtown Washington, D.C., except for the vehicular traffic, which is bumper to bumper, the rest of the city has been shut down. It looks like a Sunday morning here. The mall is absolutely empty. Park Police came through about 10 minutes ago, evacuated the entire area, and told tourists to go somewhere else. But I can tell you right now that at least 1, if not 2, jet fighters have been scrambled. They are patrolling the skies over Washington.
Frank Herzog, thank you very much.
No, that wasn't a third plane.
It looked like the World Trade Center was almost tipping at one point.
It did.
I think it was probably World Trade Center just doesn't exist anymore.
No, I think the one that's still up looks like it's almost buckling.
I think that's the one that got hit originally.
Let me just read you the lead. The Associated Press lead just came out of New York. First of all, let's check in with Dave Statter at the Pentagon. Dave?
It collapsed right now. As you can see, I assume you're taking our picture. I do not have a monitor. But right now, we just had a middle section here of the E-ring of the Pentagon collapse from the amount of fire and destruction from this. So obviously, there was a great deal of damage here. It just collapsed. We don't know who is inside or how many people are inside. You heard somebody, one of the people who was inside the building, talk to us a short time ago and said this E-ring of the Pentagon has a great many senior officials. So if somebody was planning something, this might have been the place if they wanted to get senior officials. Again, most of the fire on the outside of the building has been extinguished. There's still some spot fires on the outside of the building, and still, from what I can see, a great deal of fire inside. So now you have a gaping hole on the west side of the Pentagon here at Washington Boulevard, and this collapse just happened. It was not an explosion, a secondary explosion. This apparently the damage from the great deal of fire and the structural damage from the plane crash.
Any word yet, Dave, on casualties?
Bel Air, Blue Ridge 88 line.
Bel Air?
Yeah, I got him holding a ticket on a Medics 411. Did you guys divert him somewhere?
We put everybody on the ground.
All right.
The only plane I got in the air right now is a military plane.
All right.
And you gave it to me.
All right, PJ.
Bye.
I mean, you don't just hijack an airplane. It's not the easiest thing to do to get.
I mean, and to do it simultaneously?
Right. 3 or 4 airplanes, and you're not.
Look at how long Japan planned to do Pearl Harbor. They did as much. They did as much work as that.
Well, this is a huge undertaking. This is a war.
The problem is we've been talking about Osama bin Laden planning some new major attack on the United States for about a year.
Yeah, we've been waiting for this.
You know, we'll never know till this whole thing is over, but for all we know, their plans failed miserably, and this is a third of what
they were planning
to do. Yeah,
good point.
The world thought they were going to do on New Year's Eve in 1999.
Right. Yep.
And they were smart and they waited.
They waited till a random day in the middle of the week in the middle of September.
Dave, stop. You cop.
Say was responsible for it and who's since been charged in it. In this case, I think this ratchets up.
Excuse me. This is the Pentagon we're looking at now, according to my monitor. And again, it is hard to grasp what part of the building. We do not know if they're in the courtyard or outside, but you can see that a fairly considerable amount of damage has been done. We do not know whether these are offices or storage areas. The Pentagon is full of many thousands of people every day. The Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld has been saying only yesterday and today that he wants to reduce the bloatedness, as he put it, as he alluded to it in the military and the bureaucracy. But this is the great home of the military. But this is the great home of the military bureaucratic establishment.
Can you tell me your name, please?
Yes, my name is Lisa Fleischer. I live down in Gateway Plaza, which is right across from the World Trade Center.
Where were you?
I was standing on the street and I heard the first explosion and I ran and I didn't see what happened. But then I saw the second explosion happen. It looked like a plane rammed into the second building, and then that exploded as well. And
so what happened? What happened at that moment of impact?
It was just, I mean, you saw it too.
It was just a huge fireball, and pieces flying out, papers flying. And it was
debris flying.
Heat coming off from the explosion.
What did you think it was? What did you think it was?
Well, we knew, at the second hit that it was obviously a terrorist attack. The first time we just, the first explosion.
PS3, if anyone wants to know.
Yep, PS3.
Debris all over
yes,
you?
there was debris raining all over the
what
place
about
on the
bodies
street.
flying? Tell me, what happened?
No, it's, people were jumping.
People were,
are
saw
jumping
people
from the...
Yes, but I'd rather not say in front of my daughter. But our first thought was we had to go to the school and get my daughter and make sure that she was safe. So we just started running toward the school.
Yeah. Thank God you're okay. Thank
I repeat, the building should be evacuated.
We did have people we heard
Something
in the
ignited there, though. Maybe they had that was an incredible.
That was an incredible explosion.
And that does not cause from a.
I agree with you. I think it was the third plane, but again,
no, it could have been something. It could have been something that was planted.
Or a bomb planted in the building. Yeah. Let's bring ourselves up to date on the situation in Washington.
We have on the phone a pilot who witnessed these planes crashing in to the World Trade Center. Sir, can you tell me your name? John, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
John, tell me what you saw.
This morning we were at Midtown Manhattan in a 31st floor of a building facing south. We saw a 767 flying low down the center of Manhattan Island heading towards downtown Manhattan. At about maybe 20 blocks north of the World Trade Center, we saw the plane veer to the left and fly directly into the north side of the South Tower.
So this was the second plane that hit the tower, correct?
No, this was the first plane.
Got it. John,
this was the 767.
Got it. John, hang on.
Other than seeing the two people we saw medevac who had serious burns, I can't confirm any others. They've been working on people, but we don't know what's inside that building, to be honest with you.
So
certainly anybody in those windows or in those offices by those windows, you have to be very, very concerned about right now.
All right, Dave Statter, reporting from the Pentagon. Here you can see.
Most scared I've ever been in my whole life. What happened, sweetie? What did you hear or see? It started when I was in my classroom, and we heard the explosion. The whole classroom. It felt like the whole classroom jumped. You heard both of them? Yeah. Did you hear both things? And then what did you do? Well, we had to run into the gym because they said, please stay away from the south side of the building. What's your name, sweetie? Lily. Lily? Thank you, Lily.
I don't know, looking on that. Kate Snow's on Capitol Hill. Kate, what can you tell us about the events there?
Well, I'm a couple of blocks away from the Capitol right now. I can tell you that about a half hour ago, the Capitol building itself was evacuated. It was a little bit chaotic. Everyone was running out of the building. People ran a couple of blocks away. We have now been pushed back by security. We're within 2 blocks of the Capitol. I did see myself a plane about a half hour ago circling over the Capitol. Now, whether that may have been an Air Force, a U.S. plane, it's unclear. But that seemed to be the reason, according to security guards that I talked with, for the evacuation of the Capitol. They had seen something or heard something suspicious.
You rolling? Yeah. You were in the lobby of the main tower?
Yeah.
All right. Tell me, when the first explosion, what time was it roughly?
I really don't remember.
At 8:45. Tell me what it was like.
It was just, I just heard a big blast. That was it. And, oh, wait a second. And I started to, I heard that noise once before, and I took off. The lobby was flooded with water, putting out the fires. And then I went back to see how my friends were. And the blast just happened now, and I got caught across the street. A couple of guys helped me get into the building across the street. That's about it. That's all I know. Oh, God. It's amazing.
What are you thinking?
I really can't even think. I'm just like, I'm just out of breath. I just hope my friends are okay. God.
You had friends inside there?
Yeah, they were on the 88th floor of One World Trade Center. So, I can't talk. I really can't talk.
What's your first and last name?
Joseph Napolitano.
Joseph Napolitano?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Go. You got to sit down.
Let's get along.
You saw the tower come down? Yep.
Right. This is the North Tower.
There are the press agents and everybody else that went the other way as everybody else went this way.
When you saw this collapse taking place, could you see if there were a lot of people on the ground near the building as it was happening?
No, I was further north than you were, but I was dead looking at 6th Avenue, the view you see of both towers as you come down 6th Avenue.
Right.
So.
We have on the phone a pilot who witnessed these planes crashing in to the World Trade Center. Sir, can you tell me your name?
Hampton?
Yes.
Hampton Pearson,
You're looking at pictures right now, taped earlier from the scene outside the Pentagon.
Outside the Pentagon.
That's what you're looking at right now.
We had one report.
The dust cloud is dissipated. All units can respond into West Street, Albany Street for the second alarm for box 50. The dust cloud has subsided to the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel.
The BBC's Stephen speech is there. Does it look as if there have been 2 attacks on the Pentagon, Stephen?
So far, I think we're talking about one. Now, that may change, but at the moment, it seems to have been just the one aircraft. I mean, I'm saying just one aircraft. I mean, it is an extraordinary event for an aircraft to crash, it seems, next to the Pentagon. It appears the building itself was not hit. The reports we're getting is that there was a huge explosion which threw people off their feet inside the Pentagon. That's according to U.S. officials.
From Dave's camera shot, several people being escorted out of the Pentagon. The Pentagon is being evacuated, as is the White House, the U.S. Capitol.
Most monuments, museums, the city basically, as you've heard from Frank Herzog and from photojournalist Rick Armstrong near the Washington Monument, closed down. Almost everything is closed down.
Yes, we are trying to locate where the mayor is. Obviously, usually when there is crisis situations, he would be down at the Office of Emergency Management, which is down at the World Trade Center. We cannot find him right now. The City Hall is also evacuated and locked down, obviously for security reasons. We will let you know as soon as we know when the mayor will speak with us.
In Hampton.
Well, Mark, the big story of this unfolding story here in Washington is, number one, an explosion, sources saying a plane hitting a portion of the Pentagon. As you mentioned earlier, it is the world's largest office building. On any given day, at least 30,000 people work inside that 5-sided structure. Also here in Washington, the White House, the Capitol, the Treasury Department, and all of the national monuments, in fact, have been evacuated. The FAA has basically ordered all air traffic nationwide shut down. The president is en route back to Washington, D.C. from Florida. You heard his earlier comments. Right. Also, we have just gotten word, too, that over at the IMF and World Bank buildings here in Washington, D.C., people there have been told they can leave the buildings, but they are not required to leave.
Directly into the north side of the South Tower.
So this was the second plane that hit the tower, correct?
This was the first plane.
Got it. John,
767.
Got it. John, hang on. Kate Snowden on Capitol Hill. Kate.
And eyewitnesses. And they're talking about an airliner, so we're talking about a large vehicle, a large plane crashing near the Pentagon, it seems just by a helicopter launch pad. And one reporter who happened to be inside the building at the time, she's been quoted as saying that she was thrown to the ground by the force of the blast.
Just coming up now.
The reason why I'm saying that, because they got multiple alarms, they got 5 alarms, 1 spot, 3 alarms, another spot, 2 alarms, so
he had second alarms.
Well, second, they, 12 pieces of equipment for 1 spot, so they had different locations, but in one building, you know.
I can also, you go ahead.
Kate, I'm sorry, and if you've said this, I apologize, and I apologize to viewers too. Was there, to your knowledge, an explosion at the Capitol?
No, sir, there was not. I can see the Capitol from here. Everything looks to be fine. There was, however, Aaron, a sound about 5 minutes ago that sounded like some sort of explosion. Now, everything's in close proximity here in Washington. It could be that may have been something that happened at the Pentagon. We're not very clear on that.
Okay, as to how all this happened, it's becoming increasingly apparent that this was a terrorist attack. President Bush as much as said so about an hour ago, what with two planes in very short order crashing into the World Trade Center, both towers, and the second South Tower has now collapsed. In addition, a plane has apparently crashed near the Pentagon. There have been threats. Obviously, all of these threats are credible today. The White House was evacuated, so too the Treasury, the Capitol, and now we have a report that there has been an explosion near the U.S. Supreme Court in Washington, that according to Fox News.
As you can see, a portion of the Pentagon has collapsed. This happened after a jet apparently deliberately plowed into the Pentagon.
We have Daniel McAdams on the phone. He is an eyewitness. Daniel, good morning. What did you see and where are you?
I'm here in Arlington, just off of Columbia Pike, probably about 2.5 miles from the Pentagon. And we were sitting in our living room having coffee, and it sounded like a military jet flyover that they do sometimes, you know, a very, very low altitude flyover. And then just a couple of seconds later, we heard a massive boom. All of our doors and windows shook. We went outside, looked out the window, and then saw a plume of smoke.
All right, Daniel, thank you very much.
We are now getting more information about what may have happened, may have led up to these incidents, these attacks. General Richard Myers, who's the Vice Chairman of the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff, has been reported by one of the news agencies, Associated Press, as saying that one hijacked plane was known about by officials heading from the New York area to Washington. Of course, they wouldn't have had time if that was the aircraft that hit close to the Pentagon. They obviously didn't have time to give out an alert. The other two aircraft, it's possible we have one unnamed U.S. official saying that one was hijacked after takeoff from Boston, and a third was hijacked from Newark, New Jersey.
Stairs down here, all right? I got this. Go slow. The dust is starting to settle. Just tell them to go slow.
I'm going to work right now in 5 minutes. I'll be right back. All right, you going to stay with him? You're going to stay with him? Work with him. Stay with me. Okay, I'll double back.
Let's go back to Dave Statter. Dave, what do you have?
I know, Stat, hey, they're evacuating us now. They believe another plane. This could be a rumor, but they're evacuating everybody. Possibility of another plane coming in this direction. Certainly, but this is a major evacuation at the moment. Again, it could all be rumor, but FBI is evacuating everybody out of this area.
These are earlier pictures you can see. This, by the way, is a portion of the Pentagon that had basically been reopened. There's been a major renovation underway for the last several years. Ironically, had this incident happened even as recently as 2 weeks ago, that portion of the building where there was an explosion inside the Pentagon basically would have had very few civilian or military personnel at their desk and on duty today.
No, I can't imagine how I would make it to Manhattan today, but I have to tell you, you know, on Long Island, it's so far removed. It's a peaceful, sunny day, and yet people are absolutely gripped by this. I just came over the Atlantic Beach Bridge, which is right on the Nassau County.
But we did hear a sound. We heard something that sounded like a loud boom about 5 minutes ago.
And Kate, you were...
I'm sorry, could you not go on this fucking bridge?
We're on the street. Let's go to the street. No, please just say one thing. Did he say? It goes the same way. It's a lot quicker. Please. No. You have two choices. Brooklyn Bridge or the street. Please do this way. Thank you very much. You too, please. Brooklyn Bridge or the street. What's the very first name? That's the Pentagon. That is good.
What are you guys doing now?
We had a report of a fireman trapped over here on the northwest corner. So I want to make sure that we got people over there to help dig him out. Sure, no problem. Don't want to trip over.
Now, did you get the report that somebody said the last plane crashed at the base of the building?
There was a third plane that actually set off that second explosion that caused what we thought was an implosion at first.
It was the...
You know what? You know what? Okay, I'm looking for the northwest tower. There's a bridge. Would that be over here or over here? It's over this way.
It's difficult to tell how you even respond to something like this. You know, what do you do? It's going to be massive.
Just hear what this man has to say.
I was in B tower. A tower.
What floor were you on?
B1.
What floor?
First one.
What happened? Tell me.
When a big explosion happened, some guy came out. His skin was all off. I helped him out. This is him all over. There's people jumping out of windows. I've seen at least 14 people jumping out of windows. It's horrific. I can't believe this is happening.
Anything else that you saw? Were you there for the second hit by the plane?
About 10 minutes later, the second building went off.
Did you see it?
Yes, I saw it. It just blew up. A big explosion. People started running. It was just chaos everywhere. People jumping out. People just kept jumping and jumping and jumping. And you could still see they were alive because they were flailing around.
The FBI has already stepped in to investigate. It could be possibly a terrorist strike.
It could be. It could be because there was the first one went off and then 10 minutes later this just blew up out of nowhere.
Hard to think that that would just be accidental.
No, I don't think it would be accidental.
Back it up, folks. Back it up. Kenny?
Johanneman.
Spell your name.
Johannemann.
And you were working there?
Yes, I was right there.
Eyewitness telling what he saw, a huge...
Washington Bridge. If you are a New York City firefighter, you are requested to report to your station immediately. We need all possible help at this time. You're listening to 1010 Wins, continuing live coverage.
Tom, you see him over there?
Yeah. What did you see?
Well, I just saw it actually when it just blew up. You know, it was a big explosion and just fall down pretty much.
Did it fall forward or fall together or fall in pieces?
No, fall in pieces, just like that. On the left side, you see over there at the tower. On that side, actually, it fall just like that.
Thank you.
On the left side. You're welcome. What's your name?
this eyewitness in New York is saying.
And we looked out at it, all of a sudden, boom, it seemed like it wasn't even real. And we came running over here closer to the place, and all of a sudden we saw the other explosion. I don't know. You know, that's all I saw. I saw a couple of people jumping out of the other building. I seen 2 or 3 people jump out of the building. The first, I don't know if that's number 1 tower, number 2 tower. It's unreal.
All right, burning again. Here it goes. The second tower's gonna go. The second tower's gonna go. But the plane's inside there. I see the plane there, right there.
How close to the scene? You're kind of covered in stuff.
We were about a block away, and all of a sudden, everyone just started running all over the place, and the building fell, and then soot and smoke just engulfed the whole area. It's absolutely unbelievable. Pretty terrifying. That's all really that I have to say. Michael Rappaport.
On the left-hand side, right?
Give me a shot over here so to see if this building's listing.
On the streets of New York, there are people running away from the vicinity of the World Trade Center, where earlier 2 planes slammed into the sides of the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center. They're clearly being sent as far away as possible. Scenes of fear and pandemonium in New York. As you can see, the Twin Towers, one is already down, the other is billowing with smoke, the fire still out of control.
We're going to go back now to Audrey Barnes, who has another eyewitness to the Pentagon attack. Audrey.
Michael, I have a witness who was inside the building when the Pentagon... tell me what your name is, sir, and where were you when this happened?
Name's Lieutenant Colonel Terry Battle. I was in a meeting inside the Pentagon when we heard a loud boom. Was basically all you could say. We were in the middle of a briefing. Loud noise went off. Everybody started clearing out of the building.
At that point, what did you think had happened, or what have you heard happened?
I'm not really sure. We've been through these kind of drills before on evacuation of the building, so initially just thought it was an evacuation. But then once we got outside, clearly, as you can see the black smoke rising, we recognized that it was something very serious.
That first tower came down, quick!
Take it for me from the beginning, Kathleen. What did you see? What did you hear?
I heard a plane, low, and I looked out the window, and then I saw something push the building in, and then I saw the tail, and then I saw flames engulf the whole upper portion, and then I saw the smoke, and the whole trailer rocked. The trailer was almost lifted off the ground, and then I just started screaming because I could feel what was going on with the people.
What could you feel?
I just felt pain.
Command post from Mobile Command Center to Manhattan, okay?
Hi, Mobile Command Center, okay?
Manhattan, can you contact SILCOM?
Mobile Command Center, at this time, we are unable to make contact, okay?
All right, 10-4, Manhattan. I'll get back to you.
10-4.
That people should be as close as this is perhaps rather worrying. It happened in the middle of the 9 o'clock rush hour, and you can see that the police are trying to clear the streets and get people as far away from the building as possible. Perhaps they're worried that the second Twin Tower might collapse. We saw the first come down with a terrible bang. You can see the fire still raging.
Of this disaster that's unfolding this morning in New York City. Let's go to 1010 Winds reporter Lori Madden with an update on the New York City tunnels. Lori?
And we just got an update from Shadow Traffically that all of the tunnels into and out of the city, we know about the Port Authority tunnels, but on the East River as well, closed. That would be the Battery Tunnel, the Midtown Tunnel. We would assume those would be shut down. We've got the confirmation they are shut down. All of the bridges, the East River bridges also coming into the city. You can...
It was two planes. It was two planes and after that...
By the 125th Broad Street. Okay. That's where we were. So,
across the street?
Well, just debris flying, so we had to get out of that.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, entry 228X, is it possible you can get over to the Bell Marriott Hotel? Number 2 World Trade Center, firefighters trapped.
I don't think we can proceed with the rig. We'll go as far as we can. Marriott, World Trade Center, where are they trapped, okay? What are Charlie urgent?
Reported to be in the Bell area, unit calling urgent.
We're in that the World 2 World Trade Center. We have some of the individuals in the front. We're waiting to evacuate them, okay?
10-4, also be advised, in the Bell area at the Marriott Hotel, we're receiving reports of firefighters trapped and down.
What we're looking at?
10-4.
All I could think of was my family, to make sure that they knew I was okay, because they know that I work here. It just tore me up like it tore up the building. And I just can't believe anyone could do that, regardless of what your political views are.
Is closed down.
Let's go back to Lauren Ashburn, who's in the USA Today building in Roslyn. Lauren?
Yes, good morning, Buck and Andrea. I am taking a look right now at the Pentagon. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 helicopters I can see from the vista here in the USA Today Tower 1 building that overlooks
all of Washington from Arlington, Virginia. I can see one helicopter is on its way, it looks like to me, to the Washington Hospital Center. It's attempting a landing right now. I'm sure there are 2 others following in that direction at this point. I'm looking down at traffic. Traffic is at a standstill leaving the city.
Can I ask you a real quick question? Just what are they telling you? Like, what are you supposed to do? What's the plan? What's that? I mean, just not even in terms of what happened, but we're just trying to figure out what they're telling you. Just bring in equipment right now.
I'm standing outside St. Vincent's Hospital right now, where the scene is absolutely unbelievable. When I arrived here, it was just as the second building explosion happened, and there is what I could describe as chaos in the streets here. There are hundreds of people just in shock, police officers telling people to go home, obviously worried about crowd control. But at the hospital, there has not been much activity in terms of ambulances arriving here, though you might expect there would be. After that last explosion, some ambulances took off and headed down 7th Avenue, which is otherwise closed to traffic. But St. Vincent's is obviously preparing for the possibility of many, many people arriving at their emergency room. They have what looks like a trauma center set up on the street, on the sidewalk of 7th Avenue.
Well, Aaron, I'm in our bureau, but I have on the telephone with me Barbara, who is the wife of a friend of mine and who is an eyewitness to exactly what happened at the Pentagon. Barbara, can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, what exactly did you see? Let's look at the Pentagon now as you describe what exactly happened at the Pentagon this morning.
As we were driving into town on 395, there was an exit. We were trying to get off the exit for the Memorial Bridge. Off to the left-hand side was a commercial plane that came in and was coming too fast and too low. And the next thing we saw was it go down below the side of the road, and we just saw the fire that came up after that.
How large was the explosion?
It was large.
Was there sound as well?
That I can't verify because the windows were up in the vehicle.
Was it clear to you what had happened?
Yes, definitely.
So you believe it was a commercial airliner that was hitting the Pentagon?
Yes, and I'm not sure exactly where the Pentagon was in relationship to where the plane went down. You know, but they are relatively close to one another. Whether it hit any part of that Pentagon, I'm not sure.
How low was the plane?
When it was coming down?
Yeah.
It was coming down on less than a 45-degree angle and coming down toward the side of the 395, and when it came down, it just missed the 395 and went down below it, and then you saw the fire come up from it.
Were you able to see what kind of plane or what airline it belonged to?
No, I did not see what kind of an airline. I just assumed because we were so close to the airport, it was coming into land.
But it seemed awfully low to you.
Yes, and fast.
How big was the fireball?
I'm spatially challenged at times, and it was pretty big.
What did you think was happening?
I know that hit the ground and exploded.
Were you frightened yourself?
Yes. Yes. Everybody stopped the cars, and we all got out of it and so forth.
Right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your talking to us. Aaron, back to you.
David, thank you.
And then what we're looking at, spin around, we can see the picture this is from where we're standing. We're a good 20 blocks or more from the World Trade Center as we're standing here, and you can see the flames. You see where the hole is, and you can see how the original hole is, which is in the middle of the building. And if you look at it, you can see how the hole has grown. Also the flames below, maybe 10 floors below now, those flames have spread from the original fire. We've seen with binoculars, there have been people out here with binoculars. They've seen people in the buildings. There are still people in that tower. Ambulance screaming through the area.
How anybody could do that to innocent people. And I remember looking at the clock that it was 9 o'clock, and I said, here's people sitting at their desks with families. And then they weren't anymore.
And then there was a second plane.
Then I was on the phone with my mother, looking out my window in my office, and she said, oh my God, another plane hit, and then I saw the burst of flames and the smoke, and I just started screaming. Because then I felt it all over again. I just felt it all over again.
John, before I come back to you, Dennis Cross is on the phone. Dennis, do you hear me? Dennis Cross, do you hear me?
Yes, I can, Peter.
Dennis, I understand that you were in the World Trade Center when either this or these attacks occurred. Am I correct?
That's correct. It was, I guess it was slightly before 9 o'clock, and I work on the 36th floor in One World Trade Center. I work in the insurance industry. Probably hundreds of people in my industry in both of these two buildings.
And what happened?
As I was...
Hey, Dennis, just let me stop for a second. Somebody is trying another telephone on this line. Could they please not do that while we listen to Mr. Cross? Thanks. Go ahead, Mr. Cross. Go ahead, Dennis.
Essentially, I was, sort of at my desk working, general office activity, and felt an enormous... it almost felt like an earthquake. Like I could literally feel and see things in the office moving and the floor moving. Immediately after it was some sort of explosion or something, there was an enormous volume of debris and paper. It almost looked like a dirty parade. All of this material just falling down. I was looking out the south side of One World Trade, and everybody in the office was kind of screaming, kind of gathering in the middle, and I went to the window, and I immediately saw one woman who appeared to be motionless, laying on the roof of a lower building next to me. At that point, everybody started to gather their things. They were trying to evacuate people down the stairwell.
Did the electricity go out in the building?
The lights flickered a couple of times, and then it was weird. It was kind of like there was one sort of rush, and then shortly after that, there was another one. I don't know if it was maybe the other tower or if there were elevators in the inside, sort of just dropping to the floor.
Are you aware that one of the Twin Trade Towers has now collapsed on itself?
Yeah, I'm about probably 5 blocks from there on the corner of Greenwich and Warren.
And as we looked at it on the screen here, Dennis, we could see the smoke from this collapse just sweep, billow forward through the lower blocks of Manhattan. Did you have a sense of that?
Completely. I was at that point. I'm a little bit northwest. It's certainly north, maybe to the west side of Tower 1, and I was trying to get to Broadway. My wife works on the other side of downtown here, and I'm still trying to get there. But the smoke, I couldn't see. It was a wall of smoke, and if you were in it, you couldn't see. If you were out of it, you could just see the wall of smoke. It was
how
never
difficult?
seen anything.
I'm sorry for interrupting. How difficult was the evacuation?
I'm sorry, say that again, Peter?
How difficult was it to evacuate the building from at least from the 110 stories in the building?
I would say that it wasn't extremely difficult. It was just slow going down a somewhat narrow stairwell. If there was any sort of people who weren't able to move quickly, then it literally slowed down or stopped everybody. I was on 36, so it wasn't too terrible. When I got down to the 15th or 12th floor or so, there was water coming in from the doors, kind of at our feet level, and then it just was a waterfall down continually down all of the stairs, probably, in some cases 3-4 inches deep. At that, sirens and alarms were going off, and then people started to get a little frantic there.
Dennis, thank you very much.
Okay,
I really appreciate you calling in.
You're very
Dennis
welcome.
Krause, who works.
I was in the first building that was hit. It seemed like a plane hit. We thought it was an earthquake. We were on the 10th floor. The whole thing was shaking, swaying like you wouldn't believe. Then we all went into the hallways. We ran down the stairs. A lot of people fell, were getting hurt. Then when we got outside the building, the second plane went crashing into the other building. And then the whole top of the building just collapsed now. That's what I'm hearing. Unbelievable. Tony Cirinella. C-I-A-R-N-E-L-L-A. I work for Bank of America. That's a good question. I really don't know. Too far ahead. I know we have a contingency site. We're probably going to end up there. I think that there's some really crazy people in this world. This is just not too many innocent people. People were jumping off the building, body parts all over the place. I mean, this is just. I feel like I was in a movie. And I'm just so happy I'm alive, and I wish my wife could hear me because I know she's trying to page me. I'm all right. I'm a little hurt, but I'm okay.
Andrea.
Yes, Lauren.
I can see the sky. I know you had talked about possibly another plane from somewhere coming. I have a vista almost 180 degrees here across the horizon, and I can see not one single solitary plane.
Good.
The only thing I can see are those helicopters I talked to you about. The one helicopter has landed, it looks like to me, at Washington Hospital Center.
All right.
I'll drop you up on the subway. Yeah, you can drop me. Yeah, 210 Geronimus, we can take the train right there.
You mean, or are you gonna pass like BAM?
Oh man, that fire's getting worse.
This building's gonna burn down because I got it there afraid to get near it and another explosion. You know.
1 minute 30 package, photos, no VO. Oh, by the way, these cameras did clip on Texas. That's how you
explosion there as well.
And Michael, I've been told by our guest here, Michael Hirschman, who's the president of an international security and counterterrorism firm, that there's an unidentified aircraft approaching an airport in Northern Virginia, possibly Dulles or Washington National Airport. Authorities there are scrambling to find out about that aircraft. An unidentified aircraft circling,
get rid of it.
Approaching an airport in Northern Virginia. We're not sure which airport that is. You have Dulles there, you have Reagan International, and George, actually those are the two airports there, scrambling to find out the nature of that aircraft.
I was standing at the corner of Park Row, and I believe it was Fulton Street when we heard this massive explosion, and the top of number 2 World Trade Center came down. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but...
Where do you want to...
Say it. I got something to say.
We're back to the islands now.
The impact was unbelievable. And the flames and the smoke.
Lapsed. And as we warned you, the whole business of responsibility, claiming of and naming responsibility would be complicated. And now we've, from the Middle East, a senior official from the Democratic Front for the Liberation of Palestine has denied any involvement, any connection to a double plane crash on the World Trade Center. It was, in fact, earlier on an anonymous caller who had called Abu Dhabi Television to say that the DFLP was responsible. So for today, we'll put aside as best we can trying to understand who did it, just knowing somebody who did.
Attacks in the United States. You can see just how upset and shocked people are. It happened at one of the busiest times.
Bang! And then we saw smoke coming out, and everybody started running out, and we saw the plane on the other side of the building, and there was smoke everywhere, and people are jumping out the windows. Over there, they're jumping out the windows, I guess because they're trying to save themselves. I don't know. And I don't know, everybody just doesn't know where to go. They won't let, everything is blocked off. You can't even, they're telling us to get out, but there's nowhere to go. And then I heard that another plane hit, and if you go over by there, you can see the people jumping out the window. They're jumping out the window right now. Oh my God.
All right, ma'am, thank you.
What part of the plane you saw?
The tail.
All right.
I saw a silver flash and the flames, and I saw a pointy tail. That's how I knew it was a plane.
We have on the phone now Daryl Jenkins. Mr. Jenkins, you're an airline security expert with what organization?
Washington University Aviation Institute.
All right, sir. You've seen what's happened this morning. Give me your read.
Well, our lives will never be the same again. This will change everything we do in this city and everywhere else around here. This is the day that we will all remember until we die now. This is...
Hello, BBN? BBN, yeah? BIBIAN AYONOTE, Ayanota. BBN, Ayanota. Like, I was just sitting down and they told me that a plane crashed into World Trade Center, and I was like, how is that possible? Then we went to look, because I work in Goldman Sachs and overlook the World Trade Center. We went to the other conference room, and as we were looking, the other plane, the second plane, just flew into the building.
Right, and then you just saw the whole thing just explode. Like the top 1/3 of the Trade Center was just in flames, because I was right over there. And then bodies started just falling out of the building over there. And then, yes, and then on the ground, people started to panic and trample other people. There was blood on the road out there because people got hurt, people got trampled. It's a nightmare. It's really a nightmare. Rose Harris. Rose Harris. At Goldman Sachs. New York Plaza. So we're taking a long walk home. And as we were leaving, there was another explosion down there. That's the street. That's where we tried to go.
An announcement was made stopping many trains from going into Manhattan, and no one was going to work today. Mona Rivera at 1010 Winds in Brooklyn.
Well, actually, WCBS, no, get a fed from WCBS over there.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Yep. Bo Whites.
Where you with?
I was on the 81st floor.
Tell me what you saw and heard.
I had 40 people in there, just an explosion. There's a light flash out my window. My whole doorway to the entrance of my office blew open. My office was freaking out, and I just told them to calm down and get to the center of the office. Everybody was fine on my floor, and we just started heading down the stairs. I heard people were trapped in the bathroom. I ran to the bathroom. It was just blown out. I asked if anybody was in there. People weren't in there. So I started going down the steps. I heard people shouting. I stopped at like 68, and there's a woman in a wheelchair, and I got her in the strap wheelchair and just carried her down the steps and carried her down 68 floors, man. And then we got lost on the 5th floor. It was chaos. It was just,
what do you work for?
Network Plus communications company out of
See if I can
Randolph,
Mass. How do you spell it?
Mike Benfanti, Benfante.
Thank you, Mike.
It's chaos, man.
Okay, Mom.
But here you see an enormous explosion about midway up in the South Tower, and the entire structure collapses. It just disappears.